So let's talk about Xero's tracking categories. When we say tracking categories, it is an option in Xero for us to split up different transactions into segments. Like for example, if you have a business wherein you have multiple branches involved, or you do have different areas or locations, or you want to split up your reports or distributor transactions and assign them to different categories, then tracking categories is the best feature for you. So it allows you to assign every transaction in Xero to a particular segment, a particular category, so that when you generate a report in Xero, you can actually create a separate report for each of those categories. Let me give you an example. So when we go to Xero, let's say we're creating an invoice, a sales invoice for this particular client. So once we put all of this information in, all of the critical details that we have here, there's actually a special column here called region. Now, it's not technically called region, it's just the name of the tracking category. So when we put here region, it gives us four options. We have east side, north, south, and west coast. So most probably for demo company, in this example, they have four branches, one on the east, north, south, and west. And now, for every transaction that you record in Xero, you actually have the option for you to record these transactions and assign them into those specific category. Let's say for this particular sale, this is something that was generated by the east side branch. So all we need to do here is to click east side, and this transaction will now be assigned to this particular branch. So once we click approve here, it will now be assigning this. And when you generate a report, for example, a profit and loss, what you can see here, if I may just update this, is that all of the transactions in the profit and loss are now segregated into different branches. We have east side, north, south, and those that don't contain any tracking category, you have not been able to assign anything, is under unassigned. So imagine how this works. If you have different branches and you want to know which of those branches are the most profitable and which is the least profitable, you can actually do that as you record transactions. You can assign those tracking categories in, and once you generate those reports like the profit and loss, you can split up that report with all of those tracking categories and give you some comparatives of which has that amount of sales, which has the most amount of expenses on this particular category. So you can actually do that. Where do you set that up? All you need to do is to go to the accounting tab, go to the advanced setting, and you have an option here to assemble your tracking categories. You can actually have two types of categories. So for this example, we have this region. We can add another category in here. Let's say you want to split it up by a salesperson. You can do that. And then we can have Mark, we can have Jude, we can have John. Okay, and then we click save. And once we do some, let's say, let's try to edit this. And this time, aside from the region, we now have another column here for the salesperson, and we can even allocate this to a particular salesperson, and you can generate a special report for that, splitting up your reports into different categories that you have. So this is a very efficient way of slicing and dicing your data inside Xero, so you can receive more meaningful reports that you can utilize for strategizing the growth of your business using Xero Cloud Accounting Systems. I hope that helps. If it does, please subscribe.